Right, of course, because I should know who that is.
I don't care what you think.
I'll tell you something that rubbed me right.
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And Abreu with the 0-2 to Story. He struck him out. The ball game ends on a K. The Red Sox fan 13 times. And things are not well, folks. The Red Sox lose their 5th in a row, and they come home 1-5 for the Fenway opener on Friday.
That was a big blast from that man there. Correa, a 3-run shot, changed the whole game. But you mentioned another 13. That's 38 strikeouts now in 3 games. Oof. Got to find a way to not strike out half the time. It takes put no pressure on the defense whatsoever and just sort of move the line a little bit. It's something we just have not seen. Rallies, 3-4 guys getting on base at the same time. The offense got to get going, enjoy the off day. They're going to wake up here at home opener.
Wake up indeed. 1-5.
Where do you want to start on this one, Mazz?
I'll start at the end and we'll work backwards. They're in trouble, and Cora knows it. Cora knows it. So, look, the strikeouts that Merlone and O'Brien are talking about, 60 of them have come in the 5 losses, 12 a game. And this guy pitching today, last night was Hunter Brown. Okay, I get that one.
He's good.
He is. He's excellent. Terrific pitcher. I like him a lot. But when you start getting to the end of the rotation,
This guy was dying to give up this game today for Houston.
I mean, they struck out 13 times a game in this series. So like, they're striking out against everybody now. So that's one thing. But I'll go back to they're in trouble. The decision before the game to pull Narvaez out of the starting lineup.
So if you're just joining us, Narvaez was on the lineup card, wasn't he?
Supposed to start at catcher, and he's typically Crochet's guy.
It was a Crochet game. He was on the lineup card to begin, and then, 90 minutes, hour before the game, he was pulled from the lineup. And Cora, when asked about it before the game, said, I want to keep that between myself and Narvaez. So, your thoughts?
Okay, now look, my mind, just to give you a little bit of, before the game started, I thought to myself, is this because of those stupid challenges in the early innings? Like, Narvaez has done that a couple of times from the catcher position. And then I thought, no way. You don't get benched for that. You get benched for laziness, lack of focus.
You show up late to a team meeting.
Bingo. So my guess is Narvaez was late. And I don't think he was late once. Usually you get a warning. Usually it's, hey, let's go.
Well, especially this guy, don't they call him the captain?
He's one of the more popular guys well-liked guys on the team.
He's not the captain, but I thought they called him that.
And respected on top of it. So I think Cora doesn't like the way they're preparing. He made an example out of Narvaez. And I would venture to guess this is a big part of it. And a lot of these games, they don't look. How do you explain those at-bats by Roman Anthony last night? And this year, one thing that Alex Bregman did better than anybody was prepare.
By the way, Roman Anthony was out of the lineup today. He came in as a pinch hitter late and hit a home run.
Right.
But he was out of the lineup.
So now Cora put him in and pinch hit him. So that should tell you he's trying to deliver a message to Anthony, too. Because you look at it and you say, if you're giving him a day off, because he's played the first 5, well, then usually you don't touch the guy at all, and then you give him 2 days off. The fact that he brought him into the game late tells you it wasn't just a day off to sort of get his head fresh. He ultimately got him into the game. So I think Cora's probably got a problem with the way they're preparing. He made an example of Narvaez, probably because he knew Narvaez was a guy that everyone respects, and that Narvaez would handle it well, and that he wouldn't lose the player by doing it. So if I had to guess, he thinks they have their heads up their ass in the first week of the season. He's probably right.
Murray, what are your takeaways?
What about the job he's also done, too?
Well, Murray, you're absolutely right to
look in the
up.
mirror. I mean, again, with some of how he's challenged some of the ABS stuff, I think he's as out to lunch as the rest of them. I get his frustration, but I don't know. He's partially to blame for some of this, too.
I don't disagree. But I will say, and this is a me thing, I don't know that there are many teams over the years that I've ever looked at and said, well, the manager's costing them wins. Or there are some, but managers don't typically cause a team to underachieve. It happens, but it's usually the players.
Yeah, I don't think it's him. I think he's overrated in their success and overrated if you're going to start with him when they're down.
Exactly.
So I think I'm consistent on that on both ends of it. This isn't necessarily an Alex Cora thing. He's got a part in it, but not a big part. So my main takeaway is, well, one is I don't think they're done. I mean, at all. I don't think they're done. And all that, it's a long season. They call them averages for a reason. All of that. I expect them to level out here at some point. I don't think they're done. But this isn't just based on these 6 games, because I came to this at the end of spring training when I looked at the roster a little harder and started to focus on it a little bit. I don't know how they're any better. I don't think they're any better on the roster. And I think they agree when you go back and really parse some of the things Sam Kennedy and the team was saying when spring training began. They pretty much admitted they're not better on paper. So the roster is not better on paper. And then after watching them for 6 games, I see the same problems. They're still striking out a crap ton.
Yeah, way too much.
I mean, the whole thing about after that just atrocious last year, and especially in the first half, runners in scoring position, drawing contact, the strikeout problem, all that. They were just so bereft in that area. It's the same thing.
It is.
It's the same thing to start this year. They're swinging out of their ass. And so that hasn't changed. It hasn't changed organizationally. Cora has done nothing to affect change when it comes to that. It's the same problem. How's that possible? And it was so glaring last year. Defensively, they're kicking the ball around all over the place.
Yep.
It was more, I don't know how many official errors they were given today.
Officially 2, but it was at least 3.
I mean, Story's letting balls go underneath his glove. There's misplays in the outfield. So, again, we got one eye on the show, one eye on the game. I couldn't watch every pitch.
No, early from Rafael in center, and then there was one from Duran that was horrific as well.
So only 2 official errors, but there could have been more. The thing last night with the 5th inning and the botched stolen base attempt, where on top of it all, no one knows the count, is, okay, now here's a third thing. So they're not drawing contact. They're striking out a ton. Defensively, they're still a sieve. Third, they're not ready to go. Mm-hmm. Again, they're not ready to go. The stat I read last night, we were fumbling around for this a little bit yesterday off the top of our heads, but someone had it online. Over the first 20 games, they have been above 500 over the first 20 games only once since 2018.
Good stat.
Only once have they started above 500 in their first 20 games since 2018. They're not ready to go.
Correct.
As evidenced by the fact last night in that joke of a 5th inning where Connor Wong throws a steal attempt into the crapper. Marcelo Mayer tries to get a runner at home that has no shot, and Brian Bale tries to cut the ball off. That bounces off of his glove. They get 2 errors on that one play. Bale had actually struck out the batter, but everyone lost track of the count. Everyone. Everyone. On the Red Sox anyway. Maybe the Astros knew it. Someone in the Astros knew it and just let it go because they got the count wrong coming out of that botched steal attempt. Up on the scoreboard, it showed 1-1 when it should have been 0-2. Maybe someone on the Astros knew it and just kept their mouth shut because it played to their advantage. No one on the Boston side. No one. None of the broadcasters. Now that it's their responsibility, but no one. No one said anything on the Nesson telecast. Anyone who says on the Red Sox side they knew is lying. Because if anyone in the dugout, Mazz, or out in the field, because they were in the field at the time, knew the count, wouldn't you just, someone go, hey, or can you whistle?
Yeah, you run out to the umpire and say, can you guys check the tape here?
Or not just that, but someone somewhere on the field or in the dugout would have put their fingers in their mouth and, can you whistle, Murray?
I can't do that whistle.
To manage your coach in baseball, you must be able to, do the loud whistle.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere on the Boston side would have just whistled or said, hey, that's strike 3. And then someone would have snapped out of it and said, oh, yeah, that's strike 3. No one, Mazz, in a Red Sox uniform said anything about the count. So they're out to lunch and not ready to go.
Correct. Yep. Embarrassing.
Again. So, listen, I don't think they're done, but I don't think they're any better. I don't think there's any movement from last year, and maybe they make the playoffs, maybe they don't, but there's no ceiling on the team because Breslow did a horrible job with the roster. They're not any better on the roster, and the same crap, they're still playing the same way. So how's it going to be any different?
Right now, I don't think it is going to be different. I don't know how you could, because the guys they added, at best, were more of what they already had. And in some cases, they're worse. So, for example, I focus on the pitching. We talk about how good the pitching is. Ranger Suarez and Sonny Gray are middle-of-the-rotation guys. Maybe 2.5, like a 2, not a 2 and not a 3, but somewhere in between a 2 and a 3. I might give you that on Suarez, but he doesn't have the durability to be a number 2 starter, and Sonny Gray doesn't have the history of effectiveness and execution to be a number 2 starter. So they needed a number 2 starter. They didn't get it. They got 2 number 3s or something closer to that. They needed a middle-of-the-order bat. That was with Bregman on the roster. They lost him. They added Contreras, who's actually statistically a little below Bregman, but they needed another bat on top of it. They give you Caleb Durbin, who is now 0 for 18, I think it is.
0 for 18 with 5 strikeouts on the road trip.
0 for 18 with 16 of the 18 at-bats, the ball failing to get out of the infield. Okay, so it's not like he's hitting the ball hard and running into outs or anything
exactly
like that.
right.
And if they continue to have a horrible season, look, again, there's a lot of time left. He's going to unfortunately become the face of this, or one of the faces of it, when he kind of shouldn't. This is a Craig Breslow issue with Caleb Durbin. Caleb Durbin is who he is.
Yeah, he's the face of it. Durbin is the face of this thing because they picked him up from Milwaukee. He's a freaking 4A player. He's your classic, like, let's find a sponge and squeeze a little more water out of it, or find out how to squeeze a little more out of it.
But I don't know. I'll look at him as a sympathetic figure in no time, because this isn't his fault he's here. He shouldn't be here in the first place. It's a Craig Breslow issue.
They took a guy with 11 home runs and said, what, we can get him to hit 16? We can do that in our ballpark?
No, with our driveline guys.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So they're going to try to squeeze water out of a stone, and he's only $700,000, so we can get 16 homers for $7,000 instead of Bregman's 18 for $30 million. So we'll take the 16. We'll go with that, not realizing that the ripple effect. See, the part that drives me crazy is it's so obvious. In every sport, stars have a ripple effect. There's a hierarchy that exists in every lineup in every sport that the great players allow everyone else to slot properly. So you can look at a guy on paper and say, well, he's an 18 home run hitter. Yeah, but what happens if he did that hitting 7th somewhere, and now you're going to ask him to hit 4th? You know what's going to happen? Your team's going to suck. That's the problem. And so the part of the analytics thing is like, what, you now think you can take a guy who played for the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Central and hit 11 home runs and drop him into the Red Sox lineup in the American League East in a market where people care more and there are more people, and all of a sudden it's going to be fine? So this is on their approach. This is on their philosophy. And look, you want to tell me you hate Cora? Fine. Like, I'm not going to stand in the way of that. If this goes the way it's going, Cora might not be back. He's got 1 year left. They'll pull the plug and they'll move on. And Breslow will go find the guy. And again, here's another thing, Mike, and I'm rambling. Pat Murphy, who manages the Brewers, was a college manager. Murphy believes in fundamentals, I don't want to say station-to-station baseball, but put the ball in play defense, pitch, like all the little things that a team without star players has to do. Those things happen in Milwaukee. Fundamentally, they're really good. Mm-hmm. Well, when you try to become that, when your manager is really a big market manager, and not that Cora doesn't believe in fundamentals, but it's not like the Red Sox organizationally are trying to preach that at every level because that's how they have to play in the big leagues. They're not. They're not preaching that, or they haven't been. So now these guys get to the majors. They can't play fundamental baseball. They don't have leadership. They're in a horrible environment in terms of competition and market size, and the thing's falling on its face. It's collapsing. It's such a colossal F-up, it's not even funny.
And I still think that the signature play so far, again, without having to watch every play today, maybe you have another one for me, but the signature play so far this Red Sox season, emblematic of what they're doing and where they are, is that stolen base in the 5th inning last night with the ball getting thrown away and no one knowing the count. And you have so far your poster child, your signature play for the 2026 Boston Red Sox. That didn't take long.
No.
Your reaction to that, your reaction to today, what the hell is up with Narvaez? What's going on there? And do you fear that this is a sign of things to come? 617-779-0985. To you right after this. I want to get to the gossip first.
Everything you said is right.
Felger and Mazz, the Sports Zone.
Here's Cam Smith. He has a base hit. He's also grounded out. First and third, 2 down. Runner at first goes on the swing and a miss. The throw down, and that'll scoot away. Here comes the runner from third. And the throw home is clanging off the glove of Bayo. Loperfido will advance down to third base. And another run in. 6-1 Houston. And the Red Sox looking sloppy to boot.
Well, Meyer does the right thing. He tries to body this throw because he sees it in the dirt and just kind of scoots away from him. And this throw home is going to be late. Bayo sees it and tries to cut it off. Goes off of his glove. There's going to be most likely an error on Wong. And then we'll see where this one goes. That sent Loperfido to third. There's got to be another one there somewhere.
Yeah, it's almost, Bayo obviously trying to cut it off, thinking it was to him. I don't know.
But he was going to home. He didn't have a chance. It was shades of Manny.
On the back end of that play, it was kind of an oddity. Like, it appeared that, like, Smith was in an 0-2 count at that point, and then he swung and missed at the pitch after that. But the umpire, like, on the field, you guys weren't under the impression that Smith should have struck out on the pitch after the chaos?
I'm really, to be honest with you, I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah.
Cora still didn't know about it. Whatever that was, 20 minutes after the game, that was the first he heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you get the sense that that's
Yes.
the first he heard of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how out to lunch is that bench that they still didn't know? When is that manager briefing? 20 minutes after the game? I'm just picking a number.
Yeah, ballpark.
Even 10.
No, something like that.
That happened in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
No one knew? Subsequently, in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning? And then Alex Cora goes to the postgame? Now 10, 20 minutes after the game? Play the Q&A again. You tell me, he still didn't know. That
On the back end of
Go. Sorry.
On the back end of that play, it was kind of an oddity. Like, it appeared that, like, Smith was in an 0-2 count at that point, and then he swung and missed at the pitch after that. But the umpire, like, on the field, you guys weren't under the impression that Smith should have struck out on the pitch after the chaos?
I'm really, to be honest with you, I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah.
He has no idea what the hell he's talking about.
First he heard of it. So not only, it's unconscionable to me, Mazz. Don't they have someone on the bench charting pitches?
Yep.
I mean, of course.
It's usually like the next starter or whatever.
The
But anyway,
bullpen
yes.
coach, or bullpen, the catcher, the backup catcher, whatever. Like,
Yes.
I thought there was someone who was like specifically charting pitches. How does no one on the 25-man, okay, the guys in the bullpen, even someone in the bullpen, whistle, hey, that's strike 3. And then everyone stops and go, oh, yeah, that's strike 3. No one. How is that possible in real time that there's no one in a Red Sox uniform paying attention to that? To the point where they didn't even know after the game.
Yeah, look, to me, at the top of that list, to me, always are the principals involved. And I would start with the manager, the pitching coach, the starting pitcher, and the catcher. The guy swung at the first 2 pitches. They weren't called.
I think he swung at the first 3.
No, right. But I mean before the
first 2 were swinging strikes, yeah.
Right, before the 3rd pitch. So in other words, there's no gray area there. And it's not like you caught it on the corner and then you're like, did he call that a ball or a strike? No. He swung. He swung and missed at the first 2. Then the nonsense happened with the double error. Then they came back. He swung a 3rd time, and no one knew that he was out?
So Bayo said after the game he asked for the count on 1-1, which I didn't see. That was not part of the NESN broadcast. I watched the clip a couple of times. They were still showing replays and cutaways right before Bayo threw the 3rd pitch. So if he asked for the count there, it didn't show on TV. He did ask for the count later on in the at-bat. That I did see. when it went to 2-2, I think maybe one of those 2-1 or 1-2, 2-2, somewhere along there, and it was a longer at bat because they fouled off some pitches. He did ask for the count later in the at bat, but I did not see him ask for it when they came back from that botched steal attempt, which would have been 0-2. They put on the scoreboard 1-1, and the umpire lost it, and everyone just went along with 1-1. I think Bayo did too. I don't believe him when he said he asked for the count at 1-1. Otherwise, if he knew what was going on, he would have said, call for a replay or just get help, and someone would have pieced together the fact. And the umpire said it himself. The umpire said, I'm kicking myself. I can't stand that I missed this. But if someone had said something, we would have replayed it.
No, I also believe that he did not know.
Because you don't even need to challenge that. The crew chief will just do it.
Correct.
So, good grief.
Yeah, and when you're pitching, like, you're counting every pitch as you go. And you're saying, okay, I got him 0-2 because that decides the next
everything.
Pitch. Right. The count decides everything. How are we going to handle it 0-2 versus 1-1? That's all very different. The pitcher and the catcher, to me, are right near the top of the list. But, the manager and the pitching coach as well, all right there.
Out to lunch.
They are, totally.
But everyone, it was like a big mass psychosis event. Like we referred to Antonio Bryan as Antonio Bryant collectively, and we're like, oh, yeah, no, that's what the name is.
Yeah, like a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah, right.
We're all just part of a simulation. That was a glitch in it. We all just sort of, went from one thing to the next through the wormhole.
Yeah.
But amazing. Amazing that happened. It's really on the Red Sox because it played to the Astros' advantage. Maybe someone on the Houston side knew it and said, just don't say anything. I think it's 1-1. Go with it. And so the one final thing is Ceddanne Rafaela last night, and we didn't, again, watch every pitch. Maybe it happened again today, but Ceddanne Rafaela challenging a 0-0 pitch to begin his at-bat with nobody on and 1 out in the third inning and losing it. And just how undisciplined that is and how that
and how unnecessary. Again, you need to hang on to these challenges. Granted, you're not going up against a CB Bucknor last night, but haven't you learned, haven't the Red Sox learned, hang on to these things for later in the game?
The previous at-bat, I think it was Wong, whoever was batting before Rafaela, had struck out on the exact same pitch, the exact pitch before. And I think Wong or whoever it was glared in there like you missed that. He didn't. The ump was on it. Pitch 1 to Rafaela was in the exact same spot, and Rafaela challenged it. 1 out, nobody on, third inning, 1-run game, 1-0 game. That's on the manager too. There's got to be a hold sign. There's got to you tell the bottom of your lineup, and you tell everyone the bottom of the lineup you're not allowed to do it. The first couple innings of the game, you're not allowed to do it. Nobody's on, 1-0 game. You're not allowed to do it. If you do it and lose, you're fined or benched or something. But the Sox are just not dialed in. They're out to lunch to start the season again.
Yeah, and they don't get it. Jimmy Stewart, just out of curiosity, I know you guys were obviously working like we were, but did they challenge any pitches today on the ABS? Because it didn't look like they did. I don't know.
I don't believe they did.
Okay, so
and there were a few iffy. I looked up and saw, especially I think maybe in one of that last at bat or one of the last at bats by Duran, and they didn't bother. He didn't even try.
So I wonder if Cora said nobody's challenging today.
Right.
Okay, forget the challenges.
Right.
Go up and play the freaking game.
Maybe
play the game, because you know what it tells me. The fact that Rafaela did it when he did it, you don't get it. You don't get it. What are you doing? Why are you worried about that pitch? Play the effing game.
Mike in New Hampshire, let's get some thoughts. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hi. Two things. Second one specifically for Mazz. I was watching the game, the last few innings, and NESN broadcast, and I noticed that when Anthony came up and a couple of other guys following him, I was paying attention to the stats they showed, and, hits per at-bat and, all that gobbledygook. But they had OPS. They did not include batting average. And I think I heard you guys say, like, they have 6 guys below the Mendoza line. And I'm just thinking to myself, how pathetic is that?
Are they massaging the stats to give you the better ones?
I think they started doing this last year.
Yeah.
It might have even been the year before that. It's not new.
Down the list of issues. I do think they tried to cover for Cora on this count issue because the clip they sent out on Twitter of the manager's post-game press conference left out that last Q&A of Alex Spear on the count. You had to. They aired it live on NESN, which is how we have it. But the clip that they sent out on Twitter of the post-game press conference omitted that final question.
Sanitized.
Yeah, no. Big. It's a big part of the what's the word I'm looking for? fascist culture. It's called censorship.
Bob in Fitchburg. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, guys, thanks for taking my call. I just want a couple things. Cora definitely doesn't have these guys ready to play. There is a disconnect in that dugout. I don't know what they're doing. They're in la-la land. But the biggest thing I feel that hasn't been brought up, and it was a problem last year and right now, is this hitting coach, this batting coach. We don't talk about him. I don't even know his name.
Bob, we talk about it all the time. It's
Pete Fatsy.
Fatsy. It's not just a hitting coach. It's the whole organizational approach with this outside firm that they hired a couple of years ago to serve as hitting instructors throughout the organization. Driveline. We've talked about it a ton. We talked about it, I think, before anyone else did. We started talking about it beginning of last year. And they're still at it. They're still not. They haven't changed their approach. They're not drawing any more contact. They're still striking out a crap ton. It's the same thing.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I add to that. Other than that, is none of that has changed. So what do they think is going to happen? And to me, this was something I was touching on at the beginning. Just to organizationally, franchises build an identity. I've said this a million times. The Minnesota Twins used to go on backfields and throw balls in the dirt to teach their runners to take off, and their base runners. Every time the ball hit the dirt, you're going. Whether the catcher scooped it or not, you're going every single time. They used to drill it because that's how they had to play. You think the Red Sox are doing that stuff?
Doesn't feel that way.
Nope, they're teaching launch angles.
Willie in the car. Go ahead, Willie.
Oh, my God. I admittedly didn't see the game, the missed some strikes, but it drives me bananas at my kids' games, at 12U Little League rec games, if the umpire or the coaches miss the balls and strikes. I can imagine, like, the upper management now paying millions of dollars to these guys, and this is their livelihood, and they're missing balls and strikes. That's insane.
Insane as an entire entity is what the most insane part is. All the time. A single player loses track of outs.
Absolutely.
Happens all the time. Or you lose track of the count. I get it. 162 games, 2.5-hour ball games, 150 pitches. So you lose. Okay. So one individual loses track of one count or one out. Yeah. Totally understandable. All 35 guys in uniform. And I just picking that number, 25 players. How many coaches and instructors or trainer? Like everybody? The entire Red Sox traveling party.
Yep.
Out to lunch. That, to me, is what's amazing.
Stunning.
Not one guy.
They're all in a trance.
Not one guy gave a little whistle to say, hey, check that. That was strike 3. Not one. That is absolutely preposterous.
Yes. Nuts is what it is.
Final segment, thoughts, calls, and emails after Big Jim gets you updated here.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz. Now, on the Sports Hub.
Bowers. Oh, and it out of the glove of Williamson. Throws it first. It's wide. It's backed up by Fortes. That should be a base hit for Bowers.
Never did make a move towards second base. So he's safe. Heck of an effort by Williamson at second.
Runner did not touch first base and then was put out.
So the call from C.B. Bucknor is that Jake Bowers missed first base and then was tagged out. Not that he made a move to second base and was tagged out, that he flat out missed the bag. And I think that is a horrendous call. Where is C.B. Bucknor looking?
He's not even looking at it. Why would he even say that?
C.B. Bucknor was not even looking at the play.
He stepped right on top of first base. I'm not sure what C.B. Bucknor's looking at there. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm really excited for him to have the plate tomorrow.
He's safe. Ball's overturned. Milwaukee retains their challenge.
That's just a waste of time reviewing that.
At least review is available so you can get it right.
Yeah, no kidding. Everybody laughing at that call.
Kevin Cash is laughing. Look at Murph. Those two guys are laughing. I can't wait to see that text chain between those two guys.
Yeah.
You don't know what that was. It's getting bizarre with C.B. Bucknor to the point where I wonder if, honestly, like someone needs to check on him. He got knocked out of today's game. C.B. Bucknor, that was the umpire from last week when the Red Sox had all these challenges and notoriously one of the worst umpires in Major League Baseball, had a really rough day behind the plate with the Red Sox earlier this week. He was umpiring in Milwaukee this week, and he had to play on first base last night. So, again, he was behind the plate tonight as a reference. He was behind the plate this afternoon, and he got knocked out of the game. And I don't mean to sound crass, but I wonder if he had taken a shot before this. Because the thing last night, which you just heard, was so bizarre. I've never seen this before. He out of nowhere ruled that a runner who ran past first base on an infield single did not touch the base without ever having seen him run over the base. CB Bucknor was looking towards the infield and not at the runner or the base, yet he called him out for missing the base. Which, when they looked at it the first time, the runner stepped directly on top of the base.
You couldn't have stepped on it any more squarely.
It wasn't like these where you sort of glance to the side,
edge, right?
Or you just brush over it, or you catch just the side of it. You can't see it from where you're standing. No. He went doof right on top of that giant pizza box.
Like he was squashing a bug on the base. I mean, he couldn't have put his foot in more in the center of the base.
So this was an infield single, a hard shot to the second baseman that got away from the second baseman. The Brewers runner, it's one of those where you check to see if the runner rounds first base, in which case you can tag him out. But he didn't. I think it was Bowers. He actually veered to the right into foul territory. The Rays still, I think, put a tag on him just in case he had gone on the other side of it. Or maybe playfully, or whatever. You see this all the time. Just, slap him with the ball. And CB Bucknor, for some reason, called him out, saying that he didn't step on the base, even though he stepped right on top of the base. And then they just replayed it once. And then by the end of it, everyone was laughing at CB Bucknor. Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, is it Cash, who's the Rays manager?
Yeah, Kevin Cash, yeah.
Cash, they're laughing with each other. They're laughing at him. The broadcasters are laughing at CB Bucknor. It's time to take CB Bucknor off the field. Now, like I said, he got hit with the foul ball and came off, so maybe that's a perfect time for a little leave. But something is wrong with that guy.
I agree.
I mean, that was kind of scary what happened last night.
Yeah, again, and something wrong, like he made it up. I mean, he did. He made it up.
Who does that? It's such a rare thing for the runner coming down first base not to step on the bag. That for you to make that call, you've got to see it and be sure.
You got to be 100% sure.
Like, if I'm not looking at it, I just let it go because, of course, he stepped on the bag. And if they want to replay that, go ahead and replay that. I'll be forgiven for not seeing him miss the bag because who the hell misses the bag running down first base on a ground ball? The guy running down the first base line on a ground ball steps on the bag 999 times out of 1,000. 9,999 out of 10,000. So I'm going to err on this. If I'm not looking at him step on the bag, I'm going to err on the side of he stepped on the bag. Bucknor did just the opposite. So what made him call that? Did the Rays know what an imbecile that they're dealing with? And they said, he missed it, CB, he missed it. And CB Bucknor went, okay, out. Like, is that what happened? What leads you to make that call if you don't see it?
The only thing I can tell you is that he wasn't paying attention. He was convinced that the side that was calling for it saw something, and he took a guess.
I mean,
he guessed, Mike.
It's like a Manning crisis.
He guessed. He guessed on a coin flip, and he was wrong.
Oh, God. Let's do some emails, shall we, please?
It's the Coleman Electric email of the day. Dear Felger, I really hate you. And I think Mazz is a boob. It's electric. The Coleman Electric email of the day. It's electric. Send yours to Felger at 985thesportshub.com.
Email today brought to you by Coleman Electric, a bunch of really good electricians helping homeowners like you. When you need an electrician, call Coleman.
Yeah, it's electric.
Thank you, Mazz. Kuhlman, panel replacements, old wiring. They wrote a book. Jesse Coleman, the founder, owner, Coleman Electric, wrote a book on replacing old wiring, knob and tube wiring. Can't say it's the most exciting read, but it just tells you he's the absolute expert at this. You got an old home with old wiring, it's got to come out. It's a fire hazard. Jesse Coleman is the guy you have to call. Subject line, you are a kumquat. It's a fruit.
Yes.
Getting kind of sick of you, man, writes Brian in Plymouth. You invite Barth onto your show for his football analysis, and you just berate him and yell at him.
It's true.
You asked him why the Pats haven't signed Gonzalez yet. Barth started to say, well, the Gonzalez thing when you rudely interrupted him and yelled, it's the money, it's the money, it's the money, it's the money, it's the money. You, sir, are a raging fruit.
Kiwi.
What chaos had a point? Claire writes in, hi, guys, long-time listener. First-time emailer here. Love the show. Definitely a great way to pass a boring afternoon at work. I just wanted to reach out and confirm that, yes, I do know who Evan Bouchard is. And the What Chaos guy had a point in bringing him up, and that a little Western Conference talk can actually be fun. The What Chaos guys might not shut up, but they make really good points and are fun guests. Keep keeping it real, Claire. I disagree. Claire, you may know Evan Bouchard. I can almost guarantee that over half of our audience have never heard of him.
Exactly.
And don't care about him. And just talking about a million different names, a million different players, it gets people to gloss over what you're talking about. Eric writes in, please leave sports talk. If you're
That's right to the point.
If you're so obsessed with other people's money, go work for CNBC or Squawk Box. No, I just think it's important. I don't think hardly anyone does it. Shaughnessy does. I don't know anyone else in town other than this show who routinely scrutinizes owners, looks at what they spend, is critical when they don't spend, calls them out on it. I think it's important. And I think these owners get such a break. You know, people get on coaches and players and rip into managers and GMs and all of this, but they leave the owner alone? That's not right. They deserve scrutiny as well. And there's only a couple things you can judge owners on: who they hire and what they spend. So we do that. How about subject line guests from Scott? Felger, why do you have guests on your show? It seems to drive you nuts. You have guests on, ask their opinions, and then berate them. You're like a friggin' child. Calm down and let them talk. It's not all about you. Love you, but mellow out, says Scott in Shirley. Subject line, leave Barth alone. Felger, do you have a stick up your ass? You ask Barth a question, and the second he says a single word you don't like, you interrupt with, really? Really? Because he says he's been saying that college O-line prospects have declined. Do you realize how many times I have to hear you say, I've been saying this for years, for a take you probably just thought about on the toilet that morning? For the love of God, if you're just going to yell at your guests for having an opinion that doesn't fit your agenda, then stop having guests on or apply for a job at Fox News or CNN. Lukewarm regards, Kyle in Burlington. Subject line, campaigning for more Western Conference chat. Dear Felger and Mazz, I was directed to today's episode of your show from the What Chaos podcast. It was really an entertaining listen. This email is to mostly inform you that you had at least one listener who knows who Evan Bouchard is and would be interested in hearing you discuss his frankly impressive performance this season further. I think you're putting me on. Subject line, what is wrong with you? Why do you feel the need to yell, whether it's today or when Alex Barth is on? Just because they don't answer the question the way you want doesn't mean they aren't answering the question. Treat people with respect, or is that too hard for you? Regards, Michael.
No, too difficult, definitely.
Orly writes in, why do you have DJ and Pete on if you're going to mute them? Strikes me as cowardly and is pretty rich coming from a guy calling other guys pusses. Have the conversation. Don't turtle. No, the problem with those guys is just they don't shut up.
Oh, my God, they cackle.
And I hate talking over people. I hate the blah, 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 everyone talking over each other. And you can't hear a word. It's like 101. When we started the show, the first thing we said, we're not going to talk over each other like the big show. We'll just like put us ahead of the game just by doing that one thing. Don't, one at a time. We have an expression on the show. You talk, I talk. But those guys, that's why we call them the magpies.
I'm going to pull a segment. In real time, I thought, oh, my gosh, what does this sound like going over the air? I'm going to pull it for tomorrow. We can play it.
Why bring Barth in just to be a prick to him, Felger? I mean, damn you. You are a D-head with Barth. If anything, you're the jerk schmuck, and he's a dork. much rather be a dork than you, Andrew. Ryan writes in, I love Barth. Subject line, period, over.
We love Barth.
We all love Barth.
Barth, he's a good man.
Let's do the final word.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Felger here.
Now on Felger and Mazz.
It's the final
word. Recapping this 4-hour show in 4 minutes, which leads to the question, does it really need to be 4 hours long?
No.
Today's final word is brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Nobody, Sue.
Today's final word is a follow-up to the emails. It is the show yelling and pig-piling on the What Chaos people and Alex Barth.
Oh, good.
I think Mason Lohrei is what people who don't watch Evan Bouchard think Evan Bouchard is, which is like some offensive potential.
No one knows who Evan Bouchard is in our audience. No one knows.
I mean, they should.
That guy's like the
might win the North.
Here, put him on hold. Put him on hold. Put him on hold for a second. I don't like. Is Bouchard still with Edmonton, Kevin? Okay. I don't like talking about Western Conference hockey, and I guarantee you that the balance of our audience has no idea who Evan Bouchard is. They might know who Pete Bouchard is. The weatherman at Channel 10. Yeah, you know who that guy is. Yeah. You know Pete Bouchard, right?
Yeah, nice guy.
No, definitely.
Do you know who Evan Bouchard is?
No. Sure don't.
No, you don't.
No.
So take your Western Conference hockey and keep it on the podcast, okay? Now, Jimmy, you may pod them back up.
Here they come.
Okay.
You know the guy used to play
they're
for
still
the Sharks
talking. Here, put him down.
I've never seen a
They're
better.
still talking.
No, I've never seen a better demonstration of the cackling crows than this.
It's unbelievable.
Seriously, I'm telling you, in the background, they're constantly yakking.
It's just a constant chirp, 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 chirp. So let's just all stop now for a second.
It is Hardo. I'm not going to say it's not Hardo.
No, I said pick one. I said pick one.
Hardo.
More
Pick
useless
one.
than Hardo.
Can we play just the very beginning part of the?
We have more on Barth. We're out of time, but there's more.
Of the Magpies, nobody knows who Evan Bouchard. Well, you should know.
I think Mason Lohrei is what people who don't watch Evan Bouchard think Evan Bouchard is, which is like some offensive potential.
No one knows who Evan Bouchard is in our audience.
Here it comes.
No one knows.
I mean, they should.
No, you shouldn't out there. You don't have to know who Evan Bouchard is. No one knows.
I mean, they should.
You don't. Nope, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. If you do, great, but you don't have to know who Evan Bouchard is. You don't. That's not a requirement. Mazz with more on the Red Sox debacle of the first week of the season. There's no other way to put it. It's been a debacle.
Yup, Jared Carrabas makes his debut today.
Carrabas! Oh. So team spokes, so we'll get it from the Red Sox. We'll get some Red Sox, the Red Sox point of view coming your way. Corporate Carrabas joins Mazz coming up at 6 o'clock. Off-air show. We have the off-air show tonight. More yelling at Barth. No, we'll go easy on Barth. Barth joins me on the off-air show brought to you by Miller Lite. Over 50 years of Miller time. Great stories and a great Pilsner begin with Miller. So it's Miller time starting in about 5 minutes on our YouTube channel. Myself and Barth on the off-air show. We're back at it tomorrow at 2. Mazz, we'll talk to you then.
Bye.